Well, hey, all you wonderful YouTube people. It's Sinister Minister coming at you again with another road vlog. This time, I thought I'd talk about a topic that always gets brought up from time to time. It tends to be a hot topic. Guns, gun violence, gun usage, gun safety, just guns in general. There's since Columbine, there's been probably what most would consider an exorbitant amount of mass shootings and plenty of innocent victims due to gun violence. But are the guns to blame? Is it guns, really? I mean, just ask yourself that question. Is it really guns that did it? You can have. I have a gun sitting right here in my center console, and it'll just sit there and do nothing. It's the person, it's the individual that will take the gun and use it in unfortunate manner. But I was never always into guns. I've been around some guns. I had friends that were into guns, but I didn't actually purchase my first gun till a couple years ago. Like I said, I had friends that had guns. I've shot some guns and stuff in the past, but never, wasn't like, I must have a gun, I need to have a gun. But, over the last few years and how things have, society and, just that alone, like the fact that people go to the movie theaters and shoot it up, people go to schools or go wherever, colleges or just wherever. Now, I'm not in school and I don't go to the movies often, but nonetheless, I mean, it could happen anytime, anywhere, obviously, as, clearly unsuspecting. So why not be prepared? But yeah, a couple years ago, probably about 2-3 years ago, I just thought about it and talked to my wife, and she had never shot a gun ever, and said, let's go check out some guns and maybe go buy a gun. You heard a lot of hubbub about, Obama and stuff possibly taking guns away, civil rights are constantly being violated. But nonetheless, it seemed like it was a possibility, and, if you didn't get out and get your gun now, you might not be able to. So we said, we kind of fell into that a little, I'm not going to lie, that little bit of that paranoia. And so we went out and purchased a gun. It was my wife, actually. She was the first one to get a gun. She got a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. So we had a gun. Great. So we sit at home and look at a gun, and, we bought some bullets, and, and we just would practice, loading it and dry firing it and stuff like that. I mean, we didn't know shit. We just know, well, we got a gun. That's about it. And then about a month later, so I went out and purchased my first gun, which was also a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. And again, so now we got two guns, and we're sitting there looking at two guns, and it's just, all right, cool. So do we feel safer? Yeah, I guess, but, well, all I know is I have a gun, and I haven't fired it. What am I going to do? So then we thought, you know what? I mean, if you're going to, honestly, if you have the ability in your state, and you can get a permit to carry it, why not? So we decided that we were going to get our CCW, or carry conceal permit, and so we did. We signed up. I think it was $100 a person. You have to do like 8 hours of class or classroom work, and then you got to go to the range and shoot and pass the shooting test. So we chose to have our test on a Saturday. So you just do it one day. They have it broken up where you can do it over a period of a few days. But we just wanted to get it done in one full swoop. So we did it on a Saturday, spent the whole Saturday, did the class. They showed you some videos and, had you ask questions and stuff like that. Then the following day, the very next day, we got to go to the range. So you go to the range, and you shoot at a target. They had a bunch of like military trainers and ex-military, and they were very serious about the safety, and they really pushed, even in the classroom, the safety, the rules of safety for handling a gun, and making sure you treat every gun as it's loaded, and don't point it, point it in a safe direction, don't point it at anybody, this, that, and the other. Just use your head. So then we went to, like I said, the range. It was an outdoor range. And it was pretty cool. My wife did really good. We both passed, no problem. And the trainers, they were really cool. And they actually, my trainer showed me what to do if you have if a bullet gets jammed, what you can do, and this, that, and the other. So it was really cool. We learned a lot, and we got to finally shoot our guns. It was great. And after that, we got the gun bug, and that was that. Then it was, over the next year, I think we bought, I don't know, I'm not going to say exactly how many, but a few more guns, we'll say, of varying calibers and that. And, so we have guns. We're a family, we have guns, and we're protected, and we know how to use them, and we carry them. I got a CCW, I can carry my gun anywhere I want. Obviously, if, we're legally, I can't go into courthouses and stuff like that, or police stations. Some stores and stuff, they have the posting, you can't go, but, I got to be honest, you definitely, and knowing how to use it and stuff like that's great. And of course, we've been to the range, our local range, numerous times. We haven't been there in probably about a year because a lot of things have been going on. But we've been to the range numerous times, and and shot it, and we're very well. We understand how the workings of both me and my wife. My wife's actually a pretty good shot. I'm not too bad myself. But there's always, every time a mass shooting happens, or some freaking guy goes bananas and starts shooting people up, or one of the most recent was the news reporter and her cameraman. They got shot, which was absolutely unfortunate. But there's a history there. The perpetrator, the guy doing the shooting, there was obviously some mental issues there. There was concerns. Like I said, I have a gun sitting here. My everyday carry gun is a Glock 19. One of the most popular handguns in the world, and one of the most reliable. So, you can be sure that if I have to use it, it's going to work. But it's just sitting here. It's not going to automatically go off and shoot and hurt somebody. It's not. It's not the guns. It's the people. I think the problem with gun control and gun violence is all they talk about is wanting to get rid of the guns. Well, if we get rid of guns, then there won't be a problem. But then again, that's our protection against tyranny. That's our protection against people. Like, if you're in your house and somebody's breaking in your house and they have a gun, and they're bound and determined to break in and shoot you and steal all your shit. Well, what are you going to do? You don't know that. All you know is somebody's breaking into my house. It's, if I'm going to grab my gun, I'm going to shoot them, because I don't know if they're going to have a gun. Chances are they probably do, but you're not going to stop and ask. Even if they don't have a gun, they're breaking into your home, you're going to feel, an urge to do something. But if you want to say, no, I don't want to have a gun, I'm going to call the police. Man, you're gonna get shot dead, stoned before the cops even get there. I don't care where you live, because it's just things happen very quickly. You see that. I'm not saying anything that isn't already well known and documented. So it's why don't people focus more on the mental health system, the mental health of individuals, and try to get people the help and offer and reach out to people that might be, have depression or mental health problems, and they never focus on that. They never, ever, ever talk about that. They don't talk about the individual. They always talk about the gun, an inanimate object. That's what they talk about. Guns, we gotta get rid of guns. But they never talk about the person. And sometimes they do. I don't get me wrong. So, he was having issues. Exactly. And you know what? The problem with this society is, and go see my go watch my other video about social media. The problem is people aren't connected anymore. They're so disconnected that they don't realize when their buddy or somebody is like starting to lose it and maybe might potentially, go on a shooting spree because they're too busy not being connected to people, and they're just, disconnected. I don't even know what to say. It's so annoying, because, that's the problem. I think, you would certainly stop a lot less of these mass shootings if people just paid attention to their family and friends and what's going on, instead of just like, chiming in on Facebook just to see what's going on. And some of these people have posted some pretty crazy posts on Twitter and Facebook, almost pretty much saying exactly what they're going to do, yet nobody does anything. Nobody takes that to heart and checks on it. Let's just check on it. Let's just see what's going on, maybe, call the police. Maybe say, hey, suspect, maybe this guy is going to do something. I don't know. But come on. Let's, people, please look out for one another. That's the problem. Everybody's so, holding on to their phones and sucked into their phones, and they don't care about everybody around them. Me, I'm the complete opposite. I pay attention to everything going on around me every moment. Even while I'm driving doing these vlogs, I am paying attention to everything going on around me. I'm able to multitask. You have to pay attention to people. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. If you're like so stuck in your phone and you're just glued to your stupid phone on Facebook or Instagram, that's when you're going to get hurt. You could get hurt, not necessarily get shot, but you could certainly get hurt or fall or something like that because you're not paying attention. You're too busy. Your phone is not that important. I come from, I'm in my late 30s. I come from a time where there were no cell phones. I grew up without a cell phone. I grew up without a computer, and I did just fine, and I got around just fine, and I was functional, and it didn't suppress my life or my ability to have experiences. These social media and these cell phones and stuff, people don't want to have experiences. They want to, or they want to, go do something, but they're so busy wanting to take a picture of it or shoot video, then, they're not really experiencing it. Now, if you want to do that for memory or something, that's one thing, but that's the problem. I think people don't pay attention, and the mainstream media and everybody just doesn't care about people. They're just looking for bullet points and hot point topics like gun violence and guns, and if we got rid of guns and blah 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 blah. It's never, no self-respecting American's going to want to give up his guns. That's for starters, and for two, we shouldn't have to. Like anything else, cars kill more people than guns. Drunk driving kills more people, yet I'm in a car. Why isn't my car illegal? I'm in a truck. Why isn't my truck illegal? Why aren't cars illegal? Why isn't drinking illegal? Drinking causes way more fucking fatalities than fucking guns do, but yet nobody's banning Budweiser. I could care less if they fucking ban Budweiser. I don't even fucking drink, So, I'm high on life. Like I told my wife, I get high on boobies and my son. That's who gets me high. Let's just be realistic here. I just don't understand that. People can get hurt with a butter knife, but butter knives aren't banned. But they want to ban guns. I don't understand. I personally, I'm not an educated man. I'm a high school dropout. I don't freaking understand the logic behind it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I gotta send a text. Sorry. We'll edit that shit out because I'm talking about paying attention and I'm sending a fucking text. Edit. edit. But, so I don't know. I don't know. I personally don't know what the answer is. I do know that if society and mainstream media and the government and stuff don't start trying to actually help people that have mental problems, that are unstable, I know from firsthand, the SSRI, the pills that I'm on that help me tremendously, that it's like $300 a month without insurance. Now, how are you supposed to afford that? If you can't afford insurance, which is hard to afford Obamacare, if you can't afford that, how are you supposed to pay for medicine when it's so damn expensive? And then when people don't have access or can't afford their medicine, they don't take it, and then they, something happens, and then they look back and go, oh, well, he was on, Zoloft or Prozac, but he hasn't been taking it because, for whatever reason, he couldn't afford it or didn't have access to it. Well, there you go. I mean, that I'm not saying that's every situation, but it's certainly possible. Then people will flip-flop it and say, oh, well, people are on SSRIs are more susceptible to do that. I don't necessarily believe that, because I know how I feel while I'm taking my SSRIs and how I felt when I didn't take them, and then a few days where I forgot to take a pill. And, and you could feel a little dip in how you're feeling and stuff. It's not, it's not it. I just think there's a misdirection of the actual cause here, because that would cost money. See, that's the thing. It's easy. It's to take people's guns away. That's in the government's benefit. That's going to make people more vulnerable, But for them to say, oh, we need to put more money into mental health studies and mental health care, that means that's going to cost them money, and that's what they don't want. That last thing they want to do is they want to spend money on helping society and helping people. I can tell you that. I've seen it. I've been a victim of it to some degree. The government just doesn't want to help people. They don't care. They simply don't care. Obama can say whatever the fuck he wants. And Bush, same thing. All of them. They just don't care about people. They certainly don't want to help them. And I was just watching a comedy special. I was Jeff Ross, and he did a prison. He did comedy at a prison, and they said that prisons are the number one mental health care facilities nowadays, because they have more people in prisons that they're caring for with mental health issues than anywhere else, because it's not being identified and it's not being treated. Again, because the government just doesn't care. What are you going to do? I mean, really, how do they think this problem is going to change? Just by taking guns away? You think criminals aren't going to go get guns and rob people? What you're doing is just making people defenseless. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, the logic behind the whole gun control thing, it's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Because you take people's guns away, the criminals are going to get guns. They talk about universal background checks and all this nonsense. Well, that's great, but I can tell you right now, I've known criminals. I've been, a drug addict. I've been around. I grew up around the hood and around bad neighborhoods. And we used to lie, cheat, and steal. We used to do all kinds of criminal shit. One thing we didn't do was ask permission. One thing we didn't do is, if we needed a gun, we didn't go to the store to get one. You had a friend. I had a friend that went to prison for shooting up a house with a 12 gauge. And he stole it from somebody. He didn't go to the fucking store and buy a fucking gun. He stole it. And then he fucking shot up a house and went to fucking prison for it. I mean, that's for real shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, oh my goodness. It's so ridiculous to think that taking away guns is going to correct issues or solve, the gun control problem. and all that shit. I gotta fucking stop for a second. All right, so where was I? Gun violence, gun control. You know, we need to start looking at people. We need to start looking at what the fuck is happening with people. Stop looking at guns, start looking at people. You know, I think that's the way we're only going to see some type of resolution. Because if you notice, you know, a lot of these fucking mass shootings, where are they at? Schools, churches, you know, movie theaters, wherever. Gun-free zones. Have you noticed that fucking gun-free zones? Because they know if you're gonna go, if you got it in your head that you're like, I'm gonna go shoot up I want to kill a bunch of people, and then I'm gonna kill myself, or I'm gonna kill a bunch of people and have a shootout with the cops. You know, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to a gun-free zone because you're gonna put up the least resistance. You're gonna have the most impact. And you know, I asked this question on Facebook. It was, you know, why aren't there mass shootings at a gun show where there's thousands of guns? Why not? Because it wouldn't last very fucking long. That's why. You know, so it's just that simple. Why, keep not only that, but perpetrating. This is a gun-free zone. Well, yeah, that's, if you put up a fucking thing and said this is a free sex zone, if you're standing in this circle, then you get to have sex with whoever else is standing in the circle. Well, people are going to fucking go there and stand in the circle and wait for other people to show up. I mean, come on. That maybe sounds stupid, but it may not be a good analogy. But, come on. It's, if you have a gun-free zone, you're not going to get much resistance when you're trying to accomplish some crazy fucking dastardly, shootout. I mean, it's so ignorant. I mean, it's absolutely ignorant. And again, this is why I've talked about, Trump and stuff, and possibly having him be the next president, because I mean, he can't be bought. If a multi-million billionaire, I don't know how much he's worth, he's worth a lot of fucking money. If a guy like that can then be bought, well, then we're fucked, people. But if a guy like that, who really believes in his heart that he can make change, and to make America great again, as he says, and well, then and he doesn't need the money, well, then we should see some change. Things should be great again. I'm all for it. I welcome it, but. But to focus on this, on the guns and stuff like that, we're not out of the woods with mass shootings and stuff like that. There's going to be more. You're going to see more. We're not done with that shit yet. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Because people aren't getting the help they need. They're not having access to the help that they need. Friends and family aren't paying attention because they're too busy on fucking Twitter and Instagram, not paying attention to the people around them, not visiting. People don't visit with each other anymore. They rather just voyeur in on Facebook and go, oh, okay, here, he posted a picture of him at the fucking McDonald's. Oh, he's eating, great, but they don't really know what's going on because they're not involved. You're not directly connected with people anymore. So these people will snap, and there'll be no warning because nobody was around to, pick up on a warning. Maybe. I'm not saying that's going to happen every time, but if people were more connected, you might be able to save some people by picking up on somebody, family member, whoever, friend that might be wanting to do something like that. It's a sad state of affairs, man, the society's in. And the gun control, the gun violence issue is just another one. There's some, and I'm preaching to the choir probably. I mean, there's a lot of guys on YouTube, way more eloquent than me, with better points and explanations and stuff. I mean, I just know that I'm a recent gun, owner. I've only owned a gun for the last few years. Now I own many guns, and I kind of stopped buying guns. I realized that, they weren't going to take your guns away. They're not. It was, again, a lot of media hype and all that, and the thought of, well, maybe, they'll take away guns and they'll do this and they'll do that. I got guns, so I have enough guns to protect myself. I have a neighbor who has guns, so we're all in good connections here with each other. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's goodness, traffic. But I'm not gonna make a left-hand turn here. We'll just go up the road and turn around. We'll make life easy on me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have an opinion, voice it below, mention it below. And I mean, it's kind of an issue that's been, beat up tremendously. But I just thought I would tell my story and my points on it, and how I feel. Ooh, maybe I can get over. I mean, I'm pro-gun. I believe you should have guns. You should have the right to have guns. If you don't want to have guns, don't have guns. I'm not judging you either way. I'm not saying you're a fool for not having guns. I'm not saying you're smart for having guns. If you want to have them, fine. If you don't. If you like to write with a fucking pencil, write with one. I don't, but I'm not going to hate on you because you like to write in pencil. I like to write on fucking pen. Not only just pen, I like them gel ink pens. But, that's me. That's my specific. I'm not trying to fucking, say, oh, well, I write in gel ink pens, so I'm superior to you because you write in Bic pens and ballpoint pens. That's just stupid. You like guns? Have guns. You don't like guns? Don't have guns. It's that simple. You like girls? Sleep with girls. You like guys? Sleep with guys. You're a guy? You want a guy? Go. I don't care. Why should anybody care? That's a whole nother freaking issue, is the whole gay issue. But you know what I'm saying? Like, why should people care? Are you hurting people? This gun sitting here. I mean, I'd pull it out and show you, but you know what a Glock 19 looks like, and I'm around people. They'll probably freak out and fucking, have the cops on me. But I feel safe. I used to feel safe without a gun. I feel a little more equalized with a gun because, if somebody's going to try to do me harm, or my family, or any of my friends, or anybody I'm with, I know I can protect us, I know I'll be equal. If a guy pulls a gun and I have the ability to get my gun out, well, then at least it's a fair fucking fight. As opposed to being a victim, laying down like a fucking sheep, and fucking, and not having any edge or angle at all. Fuck that. I don't think that's fair. But if that's how you want to live, that's fine. I'm not even going to judge you for it. You don't have to. I know plenty of people that don't like guns. Hey, that's fine. People get freaked out. I got a snake. And people are fucking, they hate snakes. And they never have been around snakes, but they hate them. They're like, oh, snakes are slimy. They're gross. Snakes are not slimy. They're actually very cool. But fine. You don't like snakes. I'm not going to force my snake on you. But you don't have to like them. You can. But you shouldn't be afraid of what you don't know or what you're not used to. You should try it. If you've never shot a gun, go shoot a gun. Go to a range in a controlled atmosphere. I'm sure you know somebody that has a gun or is into guns. You say, I'd like to at least try it, and then you could say, oh man, guns are not for me. I tried it and that. What I really don't like is people that just don't like something because they hear it on mainstream media or TV or something. I don't like this, I don't like that. Have you ever tried it? No. Well, that's just stupid. Now you're being like a child. If you go and try it and you don't like it, then fine. But at least you try it. And you know what? I'll bet you, if you're looking for a stress reliever, and it's probably been one of the best ones for me, fucking going to a range and shooting off a gun, man, it's awesome. It's just awesome. That's, it's not the ultimate stress reliever, but it will, you put like sex and like shooting a gun, you could put them fairly close as far as like, if you're just wanting to release some stress and just mellow the fuck out, you can't beat sex or shooting a gun. Maybe, if you're really safe, you could have sex while shooting a gun. But you'd have to be outside and probably on in like, your own property and have many acres, because a bullet will travel very far. But you think about it though, having sex and shooting guns, even if you're like shooting them up in the air, that'd be kind of wild. I'm not saying I wouldn't try it. I probably would, but you'd have to be very careful. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm at my destination, and I'm going to go do some things. But, that was just my thoughts on the whole gun thing. You probably, it's a beat up topic, I know, but, it's just my personal opinion. I'm a regular old schmo, and that's just what I think, have guns, have sex with guns. Nothing wrong with it. Anyways, this has been the Sinister Minister. This is yet another road vlog, and hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Try to take it easy.